Week 62 of Reselling Online, and it has been another week of a roller coaster ride. And I say this each week because each week is to its own. And this week I actually want to take you through top 3 things to consider when reselling. And this is whether you've started, whether you're thinking about starting, and it will be different for everyone depending on where you are on your journey. But these are 3 things I think we should all make sure we are considering when we are going through each week at a time. So let's dive into it. So top item number 1 for this week of my top 5 items sold was this Dragonlance series. This is actually a series, one of the older versions of the Dragonlance series. I've paid $10.11 for these 3 books, and I was able to sell them for $60 with a total profit of $39.90 after fees and postage. These ones went along and sold pretty well, actually. I was pretty happy with this. Top item number 2 were these Master of the Universe vintage figures. Basically paid $2.50 for these 3 individual figures in total. I've been able to sell this for $40 plus postage with a profit of $33.27. Top item number 3, and a lot of you will love this one, the nostalgia here is real. So I picked up this Pokemon Stadium 2 Nintendo 64 game, just cartridge only, for $112. Now I paid up for this, right? I was at Savers and they had a 30% discount. So I picked this up for $112 knowing that I'll be able to get a quick $170, and I did. I listed it and it sold within probably 4 or 5 hours. So I did. I got $170, only a small profit of $28.88. So it was a bit of a cash outlay for, to get a smaller profit, but it sold quick, and I was more than happy to be able to have this in my hands for, a day or two, be able to test it and then get it listed and just have it flying out the door. Top item number 4 for this week was a random book. Actually, I got this one for free, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Now, I've sold this for $39, and after fees and postage, I've been able to take home a profit of $24.15. And the final item for this week was another book, and The Great Tales of Terror. Picked this one up for $2.79, sold it for $29.97, with a profit of $23.68 after fees and postage, of course. So it's been an interesting week. As I mentioned at the start, it has been a roller coaster of the week. And when it comes to lessons, the thing that's really been bouncing on my mind is, you need to be consistent, but it won't always be the same when you put in your input. You're not going to get exactly everything that you expect straight away. There's so many external factors to take into account. And I've been trying to weigh up what's been going on, what have I changed, what's been going on, right? Because my sales have kind of dropped a little bit. Like, this is not a bad week, right? Like, this is an average week. But when you're not seeing the results of, some of the stuff you're putting in, and you're not getting this quick attraction, or the store's not growing, you think, what is going on? Well, there's a couple of things to consider here, right? Is, as I said, if you are being consistent, it's not always going to be the same. That's just the way the algorithm works. But there's a lot of external factors at play at the moment. Like, have you seen the media lately? There's so many things going on. People are on edge. Kind of like when we first went down into lockdown, there was a lot of like, oh my gosh, and people were just kind of slowing down with what they were doing with spending. So things to consider at the moment, where there's a whole lot of stuff happening over in the other side of the world with war and things like that. There's uncertainty. There's inflation spiking up. Gas prices are up. Well, actually, oil prices, and that means petrol is up. So there's all these different money related things that are just kind of probably on people's minds, so they're probably being a little more conscious. Now, this is not to justify why I'm not having a solid week. It's probably one of the factors what's not really enabling my store to more and more sales. The other thing is what have I changed? Well, my stock has changed. I haven't been actually selling all those big video games that I was selling a couple of months ago. That's because I don't have any of them left. So that changes the story and the narrative as well. So these are lots of things to think about. What I would always encourage you to do is just have a bit of a polish of your store, having a look in under the hood and see what's going on. Do you have promotions on? Are the promotions needing a refresh? Are you updating all your details in your listings? I know that's a bit of a controversial topic, but all these things are at play. And what is the stuff that you're selling? What is selling? What isn't selling, kind of thing. And it will be that roller coaster ride. And we're going to touch on 3 considerations when it comes to reselling in a second. And the whole point of this is to help give some perspective of whether you're starting or whether you've been on this journey for a while. I think this will probably be more relevant for those that are in that newer area. So my top 3 considerations when it comes to reselling is this. Number 1 is you need to have a goal and you need to have an intention. One thing that I want to be very, very clear is, yes, I share and I document and I give you all the stuff that I'm doing, right? I share that all. But this does not mean that because if you go do exactly the same thing, you're not always going to get exactly the same profits, because for you to find exactly the same item is going to be quite difficult. So you can't do this comparing game, right? So you need to understand what is your goal and intention going into this. Are you intending to just want to make $100 extra cash per week? That's great. Are you wanting to make an extra $1,000 per week? And that's profit. That's, if you're revenue wise, $100 of revenue, that means you might only be getting $40 into your pocket. So you need to take these things into account. What is your goal? What is your intention? And the second point to that is, which is point number 2, is what is your plan? How will you do it? Are you going to focus on niched items? Are you going to be selling everything? Are you just going to spend what you can spend? Are you just going to prioritize on a certain ASP? Is it a certain quality? What are you doing? And there's no right or wrong answer to this. You have to do it to your own style. I was having a chat with Uncle Wayno and Back from Burnout and the Disgruntled Octopus the other day on the live stream. You can go check it out. And we were talking about different things of how, the different types of stores, or when it comes to ASP, or how are you selling and bread and butter items. Look, I'm using a lot of lingo at the moment, and you can go listen to that if you want. But the point here is you need to understand, what do you want and how are you going to get there, and understanding what that takes. So if you want $100 a week, that means you have to sell. Is it's going to be a roller coaster. It's never going to be the same. And that's why I document this journey, is to help you understand that each week is to its own, and each week will give you a bit of a mental roller coaster, because some weeks you're going to have really, really high. You're going to be like, yeah, things are the best. And then you'll have a really, really low week and you're like, what's going on? Nothing's really changed unless you've changed your process, unless you've changed your quality of goods, or if you haven't been able to source as much. And I want to show you on screen right now, over the last 62 weeks, what that journey's looked like. And you can see there is a big roller coaster, and this has got revenue, this has got profit, and then it's got that moving average as well. The moving average is still going up. Everything is still pointing up. And I think this is the important thing to realize, is when you zoom out, have a look at that view, you can see that there is going to be some big waves, some big dips, but all in all, it's pretty consistent. With that in mind, let's have a look at how this week has gone. And this week has actually been, as I said, it's been below average. Sales have been only 36. I've been able to do an ASP of $27.70. Margin was a little lower than normal, only 60%. Cost of goods being $161 for this week. Revenue just shy of $1,000, and profit came in at just shy of $600. So a bit lower than my normal averages. In terms of average cycle time, the items that I've been selling have been sitting for a while. And this is interesting because I'm putting in a lot of stock as well, and they haven't been moving very quickly. Now, like I said, some of these things, there's so many at play, you can't figure it out. The idea is just to be consistent. And I don't mind moving some of the older stock either, because it means it cleans up some of my storage, and it means I can get things out into where I want them to be. Average cycle time is 101 days. As you can see here, we've sold some books, we've sold some DVDs, lots of DVDs this week actually. Otherwise, it's just been a few little random things here and there. Progress over time. As I mentioned, an average week at the moment is around $1,102. So this was below average, and for profit as well. As you can see, this is the roller coaster. We have had back to back weeks of going less and less, which scares the heck out of me. But once again, there's nothing else I can really change unless I can get some better items that are going to sell through very, very quick. You got to manage it. You have to just keep the course and stick to it. Listings and sales. So I've managed to list 104 items. I actually did 105, but because I've sold one, or I think I had to cancel one, it's dropped it back down. Sold 36 items this week. So averages are a little lower this week, but I'm showing up, I'm being consistent. And this is the real message to you as well. And here is that roller coaster view. As you can see, we started off pretty strong. We dropped a bit, then we were pretty consistent through the middle of the week. We had a big day on, I think that was on Friday, and then the weekend just kind of dropped off. It is what it is. So where are we for goals at this point in time? And milestones perspective, we're actually at 91% of the next milestone, which is $75,000. So we're at $68,379, which is pretty solid. And then in terms of 2022 goals, my main goal is profit of $60,000. We're at 19%. We're about 11.3 days behind my average daily target. ASP, I have a goal to hit $40. Overall, whole of life, we're at $33. As you can see down below, for actual items sourced and sold in 2022, we're at a $47 ASP. And daily listing, we're at 14.30 items per day. So there's a few different things to take in here, and I want to be very clear. When it comes to ASP, yes, my goal is to hit that $40 ASP. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to sell things if they're going to sell really, really quickly. If I can pick up an item and it's going to get me a quick 20 or $30, I'm going to do it, because that sell-through rate and that profit is actually what I want. but the goal is ASP to simply mean I can take a little bit more time off. But you have to have the quantity and quality of stock to make that happen. All right, let's jump into some show and tell.
All right, team. So this is after the long weekend here in Melbourne. So it's Tuesday today, so just getting all this ready to go out for mail. We've had quite a few different sales come through, a whole bunch of everything. We've got some books. We've got Pokemon Stadium 2 here on Nintendo 64. That thing sold within a couple of hours, $170 plus $9 shipping. Some Pokemon cards. We've got some Johnny Cash going out. Brand new Blu-ray. We've got some Wilbur Smith Supernatural box set of 10 manga, How to Draw. Some books, C.S. Lewis book, that one's the one that went for, I think it was 70 or 80 bucks. Those guys went for 60. We've got some CDs going out, about $22 each. That guy went for 80. We've got some William Stewart Long going out. These books are bolos too. Battlefield 4, that's just a quick top $9 game, I think it was. A whole bunch of sealed DVDs and maybe one that isn't. One of these is going international, so someone has paid $24 post on that. Agatha Christie, and we've got the Levi lumberjack style. So yeah, quite a few things. I've got to find a couple more DVDs, but yeah, not too bad. Let's wrap it up. All right, team, a few things going out. It's Wednesday morning. This Dragonlance series has gone for $60 plus post. Got a little blank video going out. We've got this guy going out. A bunch of little toys. That's just a bundle of $25, I think it was. And a couple of DVDs. It's been pretty dry week, guys. But we're pushing through it. You keep going, you keep up the consistency, keep listening, and you do what you do. All right, team. So actually, usually you'd be looking at what I'm about to send out, but I just want to take you through. I actually got all these books, and even more over here. Essentially, I got these from an op shop. They saw that I was looking at some fantasy books, and they said, "Do I want them?" Some more, and they said there was a couple of boxes out the back, so they took me through. Now these are all priced individually, but they did give me a really good deal. There's a few bundles in here already that's going to probably make back a majority of the money. This set here will do pretty well. We've got some Jenny Wirtz, we've got lots of David Eddings, lots of Steve Donaldson. Some of these sets aren't complete though, which is a bit of a bummer. However, I should be able to bundle them up and still get some good dollars. And then over here we have Wheel of Time series. We have some more Jenny Wirtz, and I love these books. These artwork on these are great. And then more Stephen Donaldson. So done pretty good here, guys. Very, very happy. And this was only just from having conversation and, telling people what I like. So yeah. All right, team, it's Friday morning, just packing up some of the things going out. It's been a very, very quiet week this week, but we still got some cool stuff going out, and it is part of it. This is part of the roller coaster, guys. You've got to keep pressing on, keep going, even if it is feeling a little grindy and you're not getting what you want, but still very, very grateful. Got some good sales here. So we've got Rainbow Six, I think he went for $10. This guy went for $18. Just some Lego. Actually, that might have been 12. This guy's gone for about $24. That's with postage included. Good old Octo. We've got a couple of DVDs here, all ranging between 10 and 12. So there's a good, almost $50 there. We've got some Masters of the Universe going out. That was a quick $49-50. I had them for 60, but just want them moving, and a Great Balls of Fire book going out for $50 plus post. So pretty happy with this one. It might not have had post with it, actually. Can't remember. It might have been free post. Anyway, still pretty good. I've got a couple more things that I've got to get out. People haven't paid for yet, so I'm not getting them out yet. But yeah, pretty happy with this. Let's pack it up.
This one is very interesting. Perspective for this week. For week 62, we have ranked 31. Basically, we are at the halfway point of my entirety of me doing reselling, meaning we've jumped back 31 weeks in equivalence of where I am. And this is ranked in profit, so it's been a pretty quiet week in terms of actual money into my pocket, but this is part of the journey. You're going to have days and weeks where you're going to get a lot more money in your pocket, and weeks where you won't. That's all part of it. That's the joys of running a business. I wouldn't say it's a joy, but it's the process. All right, team, so that is this week's week 62. It has been a journey, as I mentioned, and if you've got any questions, please do reach out, drop a comment below. More than happy to answer anything. But if you take anything away from this, is just remember those three considerations: is what is your goal, what is your intent here, how are you going to do it, what is your plan, what is your strategy to make that happen, and thirdly, remember this is a roller coaster. I love to be able to look at these numbers only to keep me sane and to keep me understanding that, is it really that bad? and to help me see what's under the hood, what's working, what's not. And I can continue to polish and continue to clean and change and pivot and adjust. I know this can be a little overwhelming for everyone, but if you're getting started, start slow, enjoy the ride, and just see what you can do, right? Have some fun along the way. Don't get so serious, and just learn to have fun and experience it for yourself, and you'll find your groove, and you'll be charging along in no time. The key is be consistent. Really do appreciate being here. If you've got any questions, as I said, leave them down below. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Cheers.